Okay, I want to make a video about how websites are ruined by some idiot's invention called the sticky header. The sticky header. I have, fortunately, someone else has seen the idiocy of these things, which is a worldwide phenomenon, and created a little program that gets rid of them called Kill Sticky. Look it up if you need it. Sticky headers are a symptom of this problem of idiots fiddling with websites. Oh, we need to make it better. We need to make it better. We need to make it better. And really what they need to do is stop what they're doing and go and do something else. Okay? There was nothing wrong with websites in the past. Nothing at all. But what happened was a little a technology emerged, or some discipline called web design, and every idiot you could think of has now been trained in how to ruin websites. Oh, they should do this, they should do that, and they won't stop. Okay, and one of the symptoms of this is sticky headers. When you scroll down a web page and the header that was at the top suddenly goes into what you're viewing at the top of your screen. If you scroll up, it'll disappear. And this thing is just an irritation. As you're scrolling up and down the web page, this thing just appears, disappears. Who came up with this idiocy? Oh, it would be nice if people... It doesn't... The reason that you can scroll up and down the page is so that you can get to the top. You don't need this stupid idiocy following you down the page. Oh, but you might be stupid, seems to be the reason it was created, as well as all the other crap that you see on websites. The only thing a website needs to do is, just like a book, present information. That's it. It doesn't need to sing, it doesn't need to dance, it doesn't need to this, it doesn't need to that. It needs to do none of these things. Why has the internet become a circus of nonsense? 99% of a website now I don't need, because all I need is the information on there in written or graphical form. I don't need it to zoom in when I go near it. I don't need rubbish popping up all over the place. Nobody needs it. And the only reason it exists is because this branch of design has emerged whereby morons get free rein to ruin the internet. The best websites are the ones which don't have any animation on at all, ever. They just have the information ready. And you know what? If a book had the same amount of nonsense going on in it, an example would be this. Imagine a dictionary, right? Just an ordinary dictionary, a book dictionary, right? Where every single entry was a pop-up. Like you can get a pop-up book where little things, cardboard things emerge as you open each page. Imagine how irritating it would be to try and find the definition of a word in a dictionary where that was the case. And this is what the internet has become. A childish fairground of garbage that you don't need to see, that does nothing for you because some moron thought it would be a good idea. How do we fix this? How do we fix this? How do we get to the bottom of this nonsense and eradicate it? Just stop it. I mean, I am probably going to go at some point to the local university and find the department responsible for training people to do this nonsense and ask them, why are you doing this? Because you're ruining the internet. Imagine if there was an element of I don't know, if there was some profession dedicated to filling every single written word book that had ever been printed with pop-up nonsense made of cardboard that jumped out every time you turned a page. Can you imagine the nonsense of that? And that is exactly what these idiots in web design world land are doing. They have no idea about the millions of people who are irritated as hell on the other end because they don't listen. They're just sitting there going, oh, that'll be interesting. Oh, they'll like that. Oh, they'll love that. Oh, that looks interesting. The guy next to him looks at it and says, oh, yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it just carries on. And the internet gets filled up with more and more and more and more and more useless crap that no one needs. The internet should be like a library, okay? Yes, if you want to have websites which have video on or whatever, so be it, okay? But the fact is, the internet ultimately is an information source, all right? And you don't need, a library doesn't need a team of clowns, right, hanging from the ceiling every time someone goes in to find a book, singing and dancing and playing cymbals because some moron thinks it's exciting or interesting. All right? The internet must be like a library. Okay? That's how it was, that's how it should be. And at the moment, it's turned into a circus. A circus! It has to be fixed. The internet used to be a decent place where you could look something up and, oh, there was the information. And then you carried on with your day. You carried on with your life. Now it's absurd. Sticky headers are one more thing that some moron produced who believed it was a good idea and which every other moron just followed like lemmings off the edge of a cliff, involving in their websites. There are probably books, or I don't know what it is nowadays, there are probably lists of steps that you should follow to build a website which involve, hey, you should put a sticky header in your website because blah 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 blah, and the web designers go, yeah, that's a good idea, and then they've ruined their website. The same as that little thing at the bottom hand corner that emerges when you go down the page, right, which then you press and takes you back to the top. Guess what? You can scroll. I don't need a button that takes me back to the top of the web page. I never ever 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 have ever used one. No matter how far down a 1,000-mile long web page I would go, all I have to do is drag the scroll bar to the top and I'm at the top. I don't need a button to do it for me. Oh, but it might be useful. What next? A button to remove the buttons? It's crazy. These idiots are ruining the website experience. The last thing I want when I'm concentrating on taking in information is crap in the side of the screen distracting me. It's irritating to anybody. Some web pages, you scroll down and then there's a little thing on the side that shows you how far down the topic you are. What? What idiot would need that? Oh, but it might be... Look, when I'm reading a book, the book doesn't say to me, you are on page 53, you are on... No, it's just written there. I happen to glance at it. It doesn't move around, it doesn't jump around, it doesn't animate because some idiot thought it would look pretty. What is it going to take for these idiots to listen and take on board this information? This is the truth. Nobody needs this animated crap. Nobody needs it. Not one single human being alive actually benefits from it or needs it. It's just crap. Do I need a button on a book that I'm reading that takes me back to the front page? No, I just flip back to the front page. That's my responsibility. You see, these people have realized that there's actually no future for their industry, and they're like, oh, we have to come up with something to justify our existence. So they come up with all this nonsense. What a waste. What a mess. These people are devoted. They've devoted their careers to this completely pointless exercise. It's utterly pointless. Imagine if there was a team of people who had devoted themselves to producing rooftop gardens for motor vehicles. What? That is exactly as useless as this nonsense you see on websites. It's completely without purpose and it gets in the way. And I'm tired of it. Every single time I use a website, some morons put crap on there that nobody needs, and no one's got the intelligence to say, hang on a minute, this stuff has to stop. We don't need that on our website, because everyone wants to copy everyone else. What happened? What happened to individuality? What happened to intelligence, where people would say, no, I'm not just going to copy everyone else. I'll do it my way. Thank you very much. Because it's the right way. Nowadays, the whole ethos is, oh, he's doing it. Oh, I better do it as well. What kind of ridiculous way of acting is that? Anyway, it's all got to be stopped. This is a joke. It's just... The world could be so simple. And these fools are just complicating it with nonsense. Eventually, it just has to be fixed. I will fix it.